Well, hello there everybody, UXW Bill here with you once again. Here in the wee early hours of the morning, when it is the most bitterly cold that you can imagine. You could probably imagine a lot more if you're from a part of the world where it gets colder, but it'll suffice for our little demonstration, and besides, expediency over technical correctness every time. It is quite cold out, and while when you've seen one cold start, you've seen them all, I figured, what the heck, let's go outside and let's try cold starting a couple of vehicles. I believe the last weather report I saw seemed to indicate that it was 3 degrees Fahrenheit out. Now those of you who are sitting there throbbing the resolution thingy on YouTube and saying, OMG, high definition! Guess what, I'm only shooting this in high definition because it's the camcorder that I have, which is the handiest, that actually has nighttime shooting capability, which we'll turn on right now. And being a tape-based camcorder, this thing may have an absolute fit about the sudden temperature change. I certainly hope not. But that's the risk you run, even though I gotta admit, I kinda hate doing this to this thing. This is a Sony HDR HC7. This reprehensible automobile that you're looking at right here, the 2012 Impala, it won't start because we think, oh, that was cool. You didn't get to see it, but maybe you at least heard the noise it made. I think the battery gave up in this car. Interesting thing is the computer seems to know that the battery's in trouble. I don't know how it determines that. If you get in the car and you try to crank it over, it'll try valiantly, but if you try to do the remote start thing, it doesn't happen. It just ignores you. Blinks the headlights. So the first car we're going to try is my mother's 2002 Buick Park Avenue. I'm not the key keeper, so I'm not nearly as good at this as he is. Wouldn't it be funny if I set the panic alarm off at this hour? Alright, looks like this car's got a battery and a pretty frozen door. Oh man. Now this car, you can always depend on your 3800 powered Buick. And I know this isn't going to be any problem to start this thing right up. Come on. 4 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and if you're wondering what that is in Celsius, well, I can tell you. Negative 15 degrees Celsius if you're in a metrified part of the world. Oh, the power steering is not liking this at all. That's something else we're going to have to fix on this car. You can't really see that. Let's see if I can turn that off. There we go. This thing must have been driven somewhere in the past couple hours. Alright. I'm sure the neighbors are loving this. So there's the Buick. Let's see what else we can try. Alrighty, our next victim in line. How about a 2007 Chevrolet Silverado Classic, 4.8 liter V8. I think the battery might be getting a little soft in this one too. But we'll go ahead and find out. Boy, listen to the ice crack in the frame. This one says it's a little warmer. 5 degrees. Alright, here we go. The wonders of electronic fuel injection. The most amazing inventions pertaining to the internal combustion ever. Internal combustion engine ever. Alright. So we got that one. But here, folks, is the one I really want to see. There we go. Because this guy hasn't been driven since probably the beginning of October. Or somewhere in there. And I just wonder, can you depend on your Ford F-150 in this kind of weather? Ordinarily, I would say yes. I'm a Chevy guy at heart, but that doesn't mean I dislike Ford products. I've wrenched on them all over the years, and I've found things to love and hate about every one of them, and I like slagging on all the brands about equally, such as it happens. But I'd give this thing only about 50% odds, because the battery that's in it is very spongy. Although it would appear it has some degree of charge. So let's see what we can do here. Can you depend on your Ford? Now, I don't know if those windshield wipers are going to be a problem. I think they're in their parked position. Even though they're sticking up like that, I don't know why. Oh, this does not look good. The radio's just kind of farting. The dashboard illumination's not working right. Nope. That's not happening. What a bummer. Guess I'll have to give this poor old fella a jump sometime in the future. Alright, I probably shouldn't do it. But we've got one more vehicle to try cold starting. Alright everybody, this is the last thing I want to try to cold start. And this is another one that's been sitting for a while. 1993 Chevrolet Caprice station wagon. I don't drive this in the winter because I don't want the road salt doing anything more to it than it already has. I'd say the last time I drove this car was probably sometime in early November. And it's about January, what, the 7th as I shoot this particular video. Here we have a Dell Optiplex 360 freezing its buns off. This is acting as my security camera DVR ever since the proper DVR took a big old dump and quit working. I got 2 years out of it, so I guess I really can't complain or say too many naughty things about China Pride. But let's go ahead and open up the garage door here. And we get the key out for this car and just see what it'll do. I'm kind of hesitant about this one, folks, because the last time I started this car in such bitterly cold conditions, it had some sort of an electrical fit. I think it was the power antenna trying to operate, and it made a couple of nasty thumps, and it dimmed the lights in the vehicle very severely. So let's just see what this thing will do if you can depend on your 93 Chevrolet with throttle body fuel injection. I'm feeling good about this one. We've got all the lights we're supposed to have. Got a clock that never came off of daylight savings time. Let's see what we get. Prime the fuel system. Because this thing, when it's been sitting for a while, it does tend to crank quite a bit before it actually starts. So here we go. Ho ho! You can tell that motor's stiff. That's just running like a sewing machine. Gotta love the noise that AC compressor's making. This has been an outstanding battery. It's in 2012. The battery that was in the car when I bought it. There was a period of time during which I didn't have the keys for this car because somehow or another they got lost. I had to have another one cut from the VIN. That's how I learned that somebody rekeyed the doors on this car. But thankfully they did not rekey the ignition, so that still worked. But that battery sat for a very long period of time and got to be quite thoroughly depleted. Alright everybody, go ahead and shut that off for the time being. I thank you so much for watching, and by all means, if you have a video comment and your keyboard's not frozen or worse, gonna have to fix that. Something's in the way of the garage door. Well, in the meantime, as I started to say, thank you for watching, and as always, feel free to leave a comment if you happen to have one.